to then take this into the song, because the song is called Things I've Learned. And I think this is all part of things you've learned. And you wrote it while you were pregnant with Georgia. So I'm wondering if there was one particular spark for it.
There absolutely was, Sophie. Like I guess I had many sparks that actually inspired this particular song. Of course, as you know, I released Being a Mother about 18 months before, and it was released a couple of days after I had Georgia. And that song was all about the journey in trying to have a baby, in trying to fall pregnant, and it just not happening. And every month just going more down this terrible rabbit hole. And, just 4 years later, listening to my sister go, Aleyce, you need to try. And also, I just would love to say to anyone listening out there, don't always assume it's the female's problem. I don't actually think it's a problem either way if someone has a slight issue in not being able to fall pregnant. But get all the testing, both of you get all the testing and figure it out, and don't go down 4 years of this terrible ride like I did. Jump on it quicker and sooner, because it's just we're just so lucky to have all these beautiful, wonderful, medical interventions these days. But so we being a mother was about all of that, and then finally becoming pregnant. And then things I've learned is a little bit of a follow-on. I got terribly unwell when I was pregnant with Georgia, and I'm hoping I don't cry because I can't really get through this very much without
I don't mind if you do cry, but if you don't want to cry, it's fine to not talk about it.
Thank you. No, I need to talk about it. Thank you. Okay. But I started to become very unwell when I was pregnant with Georgia, and she was everything. I knew she was a little girl, and I just spoke to her all the time, and I told her that Mummy loves her all the time and all that. And when I sort of, I don't know, sometimes I think when you're pregnant, and I'm sure lots of women out there will know exactly what I'm talking about. There's not really anyone advocating for you as the mother. They're all advocating for the baby and to keep it in as long as possible. But I was very, very truly unwell, and the midwives around me were listening, but the doctors weren't. And it got to the point where I nearly, we didn't really know what the outcome was going to be with me. I was damn sure that Georgia would make it, and I knew I'd made my parents and my family promise me that they would not let anything happen to her, and that they'd look after her forever and all that. But I wanted to leave something behind for Georgia in case of worst case scenario. And one night, in the thick of the insomnia period, which pretty well lasted the whole pregnancy for me, I got up and I started to put some things into song, some lessons that I'd learned over my life that I wanted for my daughter to listen to. I thought, if I'm not going to be around to tell her to be kind and ask for nothing in return, and to bleed and then forgive and all these things, who is? Mummies are such a special part of a child's life, and I wanted her to be able to listen to this song and go, that's my mummy, that's my mummy's heart, and to just know a little bit about me, and to also put this song out there so that anyone else that's ever been in the same sort of situation can play this to their kids and their nieces and their nephews, and know that, they're so loved. And I think that's really what Things I've Learned is about.
Well, I'm crying too.